And we should be. Oh, my audio were a little bit too loud, but it's good. It should be. And we should be. Oh, my audio.
Are you saying we should be live right now?
Loud, but it's good. It should be. And we should be. Oh, my audio.
Are you saying we should? Oh, they're at the wrong one. You have to change the link. I had set a different stream. They're waiting in another one. Should we do that one, or should we change the link? Okay, hold on. Uh, you can still hear me? Oh, it's internet. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Let me pin this. Okay. Do we have anyone in this room? Let's see. Let's wait for everyone to migrate. Okay, sorry everyone. We're going to wait for everyone to move over into this live stream. I hope you all are having a great evening. Matcha, you can hear me loud and clear, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I think we will go for small audience today live, but everyone else will catch up on their own when they watch this on their own time. So hello everyone. I know we usually have about an hour to do our AMAs, but I'm on a bit of a time crunch tonight. So I'm going to try to get everything covered by the end of the hour. So yes, this one will be a quick one. And to make up for the fact that this one is much shorter, we'll try to have another one covering more details so everyone stays up to date and whatnot. So, Mache, could you please bring up the presentation? Okay, no worries. Just resync. Let me know when it's up.
It's up. It's up right now, but I'm the window.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Bring it to the first slide, and I'll begin when you give the signal. We'll start with the impact check-in, everyone.
Yep.
Okay, so this is slide 3. Can you bring us a slide 3?
No, Aquari impact check-in.
Yes. So the slide 3, we're the first Karachi,
Yes,
Pakistan
yes,
cleanup.
that's correct.
Okay, okay, we're correct. So I'm just lagging. That's fine. So everyone, the first Karachi cleanup was an amazing success. I pretty much burned up that day in the hot sun, but it was quite amazing seeing us mobilize a force of over 34 people, and they cleaned with us for over 8 hours that day. This was a good testament for our R&D and our coordination in trying to make sure that our impact arm of our organization is all set up. Throughout the course of that day, we removed over 300 bags worth of trash. And yes, it's quite safe to say that, at least for the country of Pakistan, as an organization, we now have obtained the internal capability to start a cleanup on demand out here. These past 2 months worth of work has been quite a success in that regard. And one of the good news that's come out of this actually is we're actually in talks of receiving local government contracts from Pakistani jurisdictions. And I'll discuss more on that later. That's one of the good news that I wanted to share with you. And of course, those who have asked in the chat, yes, this cleanup will be used and displayed in-app in the in-app map. We just have to, after this hackathon, which ends tomorrow, we will move on to the next segment of our development roadmap. So for now, let's go through various pictures of the cleanup, just so we could do a little recap. Mache, you could just cycle
Yes,
through them and
yes,
spend
yes.
you could spend like 8 seconds on each, 10 seconds on each slide. And then there's a slide that mentions Greenfield on the images, Mache. You could just skip through that one real fast. That was a typo.
Yeah, when I see that, I'm gonna skip through it.
Yes. Yeah, it's very hot outside.
Yeah, skip that one.
Perfect, no worries.
Okay, so we are off to Aquari becoming a garbage utility company.
Yeah, so it's like, how did we get here? Whoa, please explain. So that is what today's AMA is going to be about. We're gonna just talk on this one subject because it's a really big subject. So, um, in order to talk about how this is developed, I have to talk about my time out here. So, in my time out here in Pakistan, to be quite honest, in the Acquire roadmap, it always was in our roadmap to eventually scale to a certain level to where we could accept government contracts. But what I learned out here is, in the West, if you want to get government contracts, because there's so much competition in the marketplace, the level or the bar you have to reach is pretty high before you can even get considered. But in a developing economy like Pakistan, it's actually the opposite. What I end up discovering is that unlike most Western economies, where either the government handles waste management or the private sector organically came up with a privatized corporation that scaled and got a monopoly on waste management. The Pakistani market has no such equivalent. And that was actually quite insane to believe. So the thing is, with Pakistan today, and when I'm talking about Pakistan, I just want to say I'm not specifically talking about the entire country. I'm talking about Karachi specifically, which is Pakistan's largest city. There are other cities such as the capital, Islamabad and Lahore. They have waste management solutions that work, but Karachi is special in that just the way the city grew and the bureaucracy that's there. Um, Waste management has been a major issue. So you have a city of 40 million people that's responsible for 60% of the GDP of the entire nation, and this entire city does not have a waste management company. Now, how is the waste managed here? At the current level of development, the Pakistani market, as you can see in this picture, instead of having trucks coming to come pick up garbage from people's doors to door, what you have are donkeys and donkey men. So you know how hustlers, there are people that are hustlers that, they really need cash. So there's a type of person in society that just really needs cash really fast, but owns a donkey and a cart. And so what these donkey men will do is they decided to monetize their assets by knocking on door to door individually and asking, hey, I'll take away your trash. Because these people do need waste management. They do need trash taken away. And obviously the people will pay them to take away the trash. But what I end up learning is this is why when you look in India, when you look in places like Pakistan, why the waste management is so bad is these very donkey men. Because these donkey men, they only care about cash. So yes, they take the trash away, but they don't have any financial incentive. Once they got the cash, they have their survival means, right? They're not invested in the proper disposal of this trash. So what they then do is they go find the nearest valley in the city or nearest field, and they'll just dump the trash there. So what you have is a city of 40 million people with over 10,000 to 20,000 donkey men in a decentralized fashion, knocking on people's doors, collecting their trash. And yes, Pakistanis keep their homes clean and everything, the trash is removed, but then it gets dumped into the public spaces. And this is the current state of things, is that, okay, so now you have these donkey men in the tens of thousands in number, in a decentralized manner. They're not a registered company. They're just acting on their own volition, dumping waste into the streets. And the government, of course, will try to pick that up. But, when donkey men are collecting trash every day and finding new spots, et cetera, even if it's illegal, there's not enough manpower to properly enforce that. And so that has been the state of everything, is that the free market solution here is quite literally just found this balance of just, okay, people that want money, they'll take the trash and then they'll dump it. And that was the most eye-opening thing, because this is an opportunity to basically come in and consolidate this, if that makes sense. The first thing I asked myself was, why did this not occur naturally? Because why you won't want to invest resources in something if there's some great filter that's filtering this out. And to my surprise, there was none. It was simply a matter of the local authorities. They don't have the scale and resources to do so, or so much the interest, because they're collecting tax revenues anyway, so life goes on as normal. And then Pakistanis with wealth, for example, the wealthy Pakistanis, the top 20% of society, will live in gated communities where their HOA, their housing authority, will develop its own internal waste management capabilities. So they have garbage trucks and everything, but it's not like it's a company that's contracted to do it. It's they developed it themselves. You know, imagine if your own neighborhood came up with its own solution for doing that. So they have proper waste management, but then the rest of the 80% of society has to deal with these donkey men who just dump the trash here, and then the trash most likely doesn't meet its proper end of life cycle in a landfill. So that's one of the reasons. So the thing is, the wealthy individuals, they go off into a bubble where this isn't an issue. That's the mentality. And then the people who are living through this, who might actually want to start something to fix it, well, A, they're like, okay, the donkey men are already doing it. And B, if there was someone that was more entrepreneurial, it's not like the capital markets aren't that matured. So there's no way for them to receive investment, if that makes sense. So the people that actually are suffering through the problem, they're too undercapitalized to actually build this out. And the people that are well capitalized enough, it's more so, the problem is already solved from their perspective, since they're in their gated communities. So yes, this is basically where this is positioned us is, in our position, I was able to talk to a bunch of people that ran housing authorities and villages on the outskirts of the city, near the beaches where we performed our beach cleanups. And they were actually interested in giving Aquari a contract to essentially provide these waste management services. So the way the breakdown went is Aquari provides 3 months of services at cost to us, just to prove that we're even capable, because the people are so disillusioned. It's hard to rally people together to pay something that they can't see a tangible benefit. So the proposal is Aquari for 3 months on our own dime cover the cost of doing this. If they if they see the actual differences, which they would, it's not something that's a insurmountable task. Then what would happen is the village chief and the local authority, at the next village meeting, they will all get everyone they'll basically levy a tax on all of the 500 homes in the village and pay that to Aquari. And so that offer was quite eye-opening, because the first thing came to mind, which was, basically if the government is going to handle all the logistics of collecting the money and giving it directly to us on behalf of all the homes, what this allows us to do basically is that government revenue that's coming in, we could actually manage accounts for each individual home internally and deposit those into our liquidity pool as buys. So what is essentially all this that I've been trying to ramble and say, since I have to cut things short, is what we're going to try out over the next 3 months here is we're going to actually go forward with this plan. We're going to provide waste management services for these Pakistanis in this one hamlet, in this one town, where we're already doing the cleanups. And we're going to convert them into paying customers, where, for example, say they're paying us $5,000 a month, US dollars, by the way, when you add up all of the utility bills. If they're paying us $5,000 a month, what this would look like is, for this one town, the cost of labor for managing all the waste, we will use $3,000 out of that $5,000 to provide the services, and then take the $2,000 as net profit into our liquidity pool. So what this would look like basically is $5,000 worth of buys coming in each month from, say there's 500 different homes, you'll have 500 different wallets giving buys, each representing their bills. And then throughout the month, as we give the clean to earn to our waste management professionals working underneath us, and they're getting their gig economy work, you will see obviously the liquidations of their salaries. But the thing is like I said, $3,000 out of the $5,000 is what is going to be used for their wages. The remaining $2,000 is net profit, and that's what stays into the protocol. So this is really revolutionary, guys. This is a game changer because now we're not talking about, hey, when marketing, how are we going to craft the right narrative and have speculation back our token price. We're talking about Aquari being backed by cold hard cash of providing waste management services for the Pakistani people. So how do we differentiate from these donkey men? That's one thing that I'm sure people will ask is we will collect the trash from each individual's home, but in addition to that, we will maintain the waste management issue in the area, the public shared areas around where people live. So that way, the areas become more pleasant. We provide a more superior service than just a donkey man. So yes, any next question? Next slide. Go to the app check-in.
I'm gonna just skip it and I'm gonna go.
So sorry, guys. We have a tight schedule. You should see R&D for Aquari Engineering. Okay, so I'll make this really simple. I'll talk more about this in our next AMA. But while also out here, I was able to actually, my host family, they have connections with a lot of machine shops and engineering firms out here in Pakistan. And after performing our cleanup, an idea came about of actually having local Pakistani businesses manufacture machinery to help increase the efficiency of our cleanup. So what you see right here is just a little mock-up of what a said device would look like. This is just one. So this is basically essentially what you can imagine is a rake that you would move over the trash that you saw in the pictures before. Because the thing is, there's so much trash. Humans picking with your hands it can get the big trash, but it's not going to get the small pieces of trash that are stuck in the sand and the dirt. So the thing is to have a human-powered machine that would dig up the dirt, and then the dirt goes into the machine and filters out the trash and redeposits the dirt back in. That is what you're looking at right here. And this is a prototype is in production right now that is due to actually be revealed to us next week. The design has already been sent off to the engineering firm. This was literally just, the people here are visual. So this was literally just to show what it would look like. And the engineering firm understands the mission and is busy manufacturing that right now. So that's going to help increase the efficiency of our cleanups. And one idea that also came out of that is, I will not mention the costs, but the costs, if you look at the cost of these type of machines online, you will see that they range anywhere between 800 to 1,000 euros. And the thing is the engineering firm, that the price that they quote us was significantly underneath that. It was actually so underneath that we'd actually be able to manufacture those at a price that's affordable to regular consumers just like you and I. And so an idea here has been to manufacture various cleanup products, machinery to help with cleanups, and use it as a marketing strategy by having not only having these at our cleanups, but setting these to content creators, acquire branded machinery, having them use it, and basically advertise, for example, us selling these products as well for anyone, whether it be other people, other organizations that want to perform cleanups, or just regular people that want to take initiative. So this is something that is in the works. We will talk more about this in the next AMA. But yes, I just want to leave it at that. The main things is that we've performed a cleanup. We're going to have these cleanups. We're aiming to have these cleanups once every 2 weeks. And as a result of these cleanups, the possibility of government contracts and having protocol revenue coming in by basically having a crypto-powered garbage company. Essentially, you would all be yield farming people's utility bills. That is one of the main strategies. So that's what we're pushing forward out here in Pakistan right now. And third is actually getting a line of Aquari products. People have been talking about wanting swag in Aquari store. Actually, we're thinking of launching that. Yeah, you can get the shirts, caps, etc., but also launching that with machinery, so you could actually be empowered to take out and do cleanups. It also lets us advertise in social media better, because instead of having people buy the token, we can have people buy the product, but then we can have the revenue coming in from people buying these products getting put into the liquidity pool to show up as a buy as well. So this is the power of collective ownership, everyone. And next slide. Masha, you can skip slide 16. That's the website. We will talk about that in the next AMA. Ask, everyone can ask questions.
Yeah, then there's yeah, I wasn't interrupting you when you were talking. I was basically answering the questions in the chat. But yeah, are there any other questions about what Cameron said? Let me actually switch to.
Are there any plans on patents for these products? Yes, we can patent them. We can patent them. But right now we're in the walk before you run phase. The engineering shop is going to come out with a prototype, and they're going to. It's actually they already went in detail. They're going to spray it with a coating to make it sure it's not corrosive from the salt seawater, and they're going to paint it blue and have Aquari logo and branding on it. So we will see what they pump out, and yeah. All I will say is that it's really affordable. That's all I will say. I will say that I won't give any pricing, but I will say I've seen video games that are more expensive than the pricing that came out. So this is a good way to contribute to the local economy as well. Wow, no questions. That's really interesting. I know I sped run.
Yeah, we have like 14, 15, 16 people watching, depending on the it varies, but yeah.
Do we know where the bags of collected waste end up? They end up at the landfill here. And in the next AMA, I would have loved to talk more, but in the next AMA, I will discuss the state of Karachi's landfills and a plan, thinking long term for Karachi and Aquari next time.
Yeah, I addressed that like currently obviously we didn't have the time to arrange all the transportation to the recycling plants, etc., and we didn't even have time to properly address that issue. But in the future, since all those cleanups are in house, we are going to be there is going to be much more control over what happens with the waste. And yeah, obviously we can also recycle the waste, and difference in carbon footprint between like freshly produced plastic and recycled plastic we will be able to generate, will be able to be forged into carbon credits.
Yes. Okay, and then Savannah, how heavy is the new product? Like I said, I will not have the answer to that question until next week. I do know that they're making the structure out of iron, so it will have some weight to it. It's not going to be aluminum, as that would be more cost. But I would say I'm American. I can only give it in pounds. I would say it should not be more than 35 to 40 pounds. And then you guys can convert that to kilos. Dennis, where does our waste go at the moment? So we work with an organization called the Okay, I'm not going to type out the name of this organization. I can't remember right now.
It's 18 kilograms. 40 pounds is 18 kilograms.
18 kilos, yes. Yes, and our waste basically goes to the landfill right now that's managed by the government. Karachi has 2 landfills, so there is Jam. There's not the exact spelling, but you can Google that and it'll correct it. It goes to that landfill. At the cleanup site, on adding, there are no bins. This Aquari plan adding bins to cleanup location. Yes, we will add bins to cleanup locations. This cleanup, like I said, was merely for research and development, just to see how logistically things can go. We didn't do bins because the government truck was going to come and pick up everything anyways. But yes, we will add bins as we start to formalize our operations. These initial cleanups, I'm just gonna say right now, even the next one that's coming, these are all just trials for us to get a process smoothened out so I can hand this over to a local Pakistani who can repeat those processes. So that way, when I'm back in California and everything, all we have to do is just pick up the phone and the cleanups can be executed. When is the next cleanup? The next cleanup is set to be next week. So we do not have a specific date, but as I said, right now, these are all for R&D and we're aiming for once every 2 weeks right now. Perhaps could be built via recycled materials. Ali, are you saying
the beans? Yeah, he meant the beans. That the beans at the cleanup areas can be made from the recycled materials.
Got it. Okay, everyone. I cannot take any more questions. I actually have to cut short right now. I really hope you guys, thank you all for coming, and I want to share more information with you in our next AMA. But this is a turning point. We've come this far. We'll go further. I hope you all have a lovely evening and enjoy the constant cash flow that is to come. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. So hope to see you. We are going to be announcing the follow-up AMA very soon. It's like emergency situation for Cameron, so he has to finish earlier. So in the meantime, obviously you can ask us or the moderation staff at the Telegram for any other question that might pop up. And thanks once again for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. Take care.
Take care, guys.